Hey, this is Jackstone754, and we're back with Duke Nukem Total Meltdown TC. I decided to redo the rest of the Block and Pray, and yeah, I wasn't too happy about my earlier commentaries, and we got last time we did Gates Mattel, which means that we're gonna do Duke Royale next. So I'm gonna be a little bit of a wizard and use the damn. There you go. So I'm gonna do this from scratch because I wasn't too happy about, my earlier commentary attempts. But anyway, this is Duke Royale. Yet another Duke Royale video on this channel. But yeah, this time it is, I would say, the closest version of Duke Royale you can possibly have on PC. And yes, we do get some assault generals. Jesus Christ, those guys are really tough. And yeah, Duke Royale is not exactly the most easiest level to do from scratch, but it is still doable. But yeah, here we do have some pipe bombs and a pistol. Pistol is, it's coming pretty handy early on here. I usually like taking care of this area a little bit slowly, because we got those guys, and I think we did have this guy over here. And yeah, he apparently woke up. Yeah, there he is. And yes, a Pulp Fiction reference, Duke Nukem Total Meltdown style. And yeah, I'm not like 100% sure on the references when it comes to this map. And yes, we do get the shotgun from here. And yes, I also made Duke Royale Remake, which was a user map. It wasn't really that good, and to be honest, knowing how awesome the original map is, I, to be honest, shouldn't have even done that. But yeah, it's a little bit of a low ammo setting. Particularly because those guys take like a ton of hits to die, and it's literally anybody's guess if those assault troopers do give you clips or anything. But yeah, this is how you unlock the first secret, which is right here. And here we do have only some magazines and handcuffs. Okay, so now I do need to think. How do I open that little thing? God damn it, I never remember how to open that. There you go. And yeah, looping sounds. Yeah. Yeah, it used to loop in the original game, so it should loop here as well. And here we do have RPG. And I was fortunate enough to get a chain gun at this point, which is really a huge thing. And we do get pickups again. And here we do have secret number 2 with shells. Not much of a secret really. And you want to check your texture alignment, thanks. And yes, I remember getting squished inside the secret in the original game, so keep that in mind. Oh well, that went okay. Yeah, the sky looks a little bit weird. But anyway, what we have to do at this point, we have to go over here. And I'm gonna give you a warning at this point. You want to be really careful when if you're like one of those players that you like using plenty of explosives. pipe bombs, RPG and stuff, in that case, you should keep in mind that this map does not really give you that many explosives early on, and you're gonna need some explosives to beat this map. So if you're out of pipe bombs, RPG, Devastator, whatever, that's gonna be really bad. If you're out of explosives at this point, you are not able to beat this map. But yeah, here we do have secret number 3. Really? Let me just there you go. But yeah, Royale is one of those maps that it's basically it contains various references to Quentin Tarantino's films. I'm not like really like 100% sure on those references. What do they exactly do? But yeah, a new sprite, a toaster. And here we do have some shotgun shells, and as soon as you enter this sector, there will be spawning monsters on the streets. And yeah, and in this room we do have a trip mine. It's placed over here, so it is just one of those kind of like dick moves that Plug and Pray likes pulling on you every once in a while. So, but yeah, this is the part I was talking about when you need explosives. So if you're out of explosives, you can always blow up this, but if you can't blow up that one, in that case, you are really in a position where you just can't beat the map. So, but yeah, this part can be a little bit dangerous, but what I usually like doing is this. Just stay low, and you know, those guys can't hit you. And yeah, there's another thing that can also prevent you from completing this map. If you miss the blue key and you come here without the key, there is no way to go back, which means that you're going to be stranded here and you can't beat the map. But yeah, this is how you unlock this thing. This will take you back to the streets, but for now we will be going inside this little bit of a warehouse area or whatever. I don't know, this could be possibly a reference to something, but I don't know about these. Since of course I've seen Pulp Fiction and stuff, but I haven't seen it like that many times in order to kind of like know the references and stuff. Oh geez, I'm gonna be playing it safe, and I want to go over here. Oh god, that was precisely the way that I did not want to handle this situation. Jesus. Yeah, there goes my portable medkit. And now that I'm around these streets, I might as well, clear these streets. Jesus Christ, how many enemies? Let's do this. Yeah, that's cool. When you come into this map, you have the luxury of doing that if you have plenty of pipe bombs, but unfortunately, since I'm doing this from scratch, I don't have too many, which is really a shame. But yeah, this area, as usual, has its own share of enforcers, and it's not exactly helping my cause to be almost out of ammo at this point. Or at least out of ammo in terms of the weapons that I prefer to use for most of the part. And secret number 5. And yeah, this area has like nothing interesting in it. But this area over here does have plenty of pickups. And I'm probably gonna save these for later because there's gonna be a really big fight later on. So, but I'm not really like super pleased about my health and ammo situation. It's not the most perfect. Oh yeah, I just used a toilet, so it probably won't work. And yes, in case you wonder why these doors are not making any sounds, that's because they probably never had any sounds in the original map. Or they were not defined for some reason. But I believe this area is also another reference to different Tarantino films. I to be honest, don't know. If somebody knows those references, I would be also pleased. And as soon as you walk over here, we do get a little bit of an ambush. A couple of pickups. God. I mean, seriously, you can't die in this map. Oh yeah, and I think there was this one. Really? Okay, so now we do have plenty of explosives, and yeah, now you gotta be really careful because the minute that you enter this room, there will be an delay explosion. Go over here, stay low, and take care of these guys. Grab the key and be careful because it is possible to get squished. But yeah. Now we can proceed into one of the most difficult areas of this map, which would be the nightclub. There are actually a couple of ways of handling this situation, but the problem is that there are multiple touch plates around this nightclub. How the hell did he see me? Interesting. Jesus Christ, my health situation is not very good. God, this is gonna be difficult. But anyway, this nightclub is filled with touch plates, which means that every time there are certain sectors inside this nightclub, and the minute that you walk around here, you'll get a ton of spawning enemies. Some items, and just like that, you get like a ton of spawning enemies, and trust me, there are like four or five of these different touch plates around and stuff. And if you hate enforcers, you're not gonna like this place one bit. or you're probably not gonna like this episode anyway, so. Thanks. And yeah, we still do have that little trap to deal with. I think that should be most of it, I think. I need to make sure that all of the touch plates are triggered. And then the one last secret is over there. It's a one-time secret, which means that if you fail to get it, there's no way you can get it. So keep that in mind. It took me literally like ages to find that secret. But fortunately we do get a little bit of a reward right now. Let me see. Oh yeah, I don't have that one. And yeah, this is, by the way, this is the first map where you get a jetpack from in this episode. Jesus Christ, I just don't... I just don't like this. The only thing I don't like, or actually many of the things that I don't like about it, necessarily, if you put on the reviewing glasses, there are a couple of things in this episode that I don't necessarily like too much. And one of the things is that this episode has like a ridiculous number of enforcers. And the building goes off. And for those who played this back in 1997, know that this sequence is... This sequence is actually the part where your FPS went like... It just turned into basically a slideshow. It's like... It was almost as like, having a look, couple of, photos, old photos with some delay and stuff like that, so it was not very fun. And also Royale was very famous for its poor FPS, and the poor FPS was also present in that nightclub. And here we do have one last commander. There you go. And then I'm gonna do the traditional check through the map and hope if I can find some extra stuff. I think it ended up being okay in the end. Even like the start seemed to be a little bit more rough, or at least a little bit rougher than I expected. Oh yeah, I did leave these things. And then I'm gonna go over here to this building, and this building probably didn't really have anything in it, but better to be safe than sorry. Okay, I think that should be everything. Yeah, let's get out of here. Oh yeah, and then there's that one last little room. I want to check this room. Oh yeah. Now it is safe to leave Royale. We got all the kills and secrets. Yeah, that is episode 4, level 4, Royale. I think it's a good map, and it is also the only city map of Block and Prey. I think it's a good map for most of the part, although I would have to say that some of the design choices are a little bit questionable. I forgot to show you that the other bathroom where we had like that one assault general. Once you open up that toilet door, there will be a trip mine in your face. So please don't do that. And it's the right side toilet from the start. So yeah, keep that in mind. But I think that Duke Royale it's an okay map. Like mostly, it features mostly okay stuff, I think. From like reviewing standpoint, but I personally I like this map. It's a good map for most of the part, although as I said, some of the design choices are a little bit questionable, I think, such as the fact that you are not like given super many explosives early on, in which can kind of like lead to the situation where you kind of like run out of explosives because you have to blow up those two walls, and if you run out of explosives by that time, you can't beat the map. Miss the blue key, you can't beat the map either, even if you had the explosives to blow up those two cracks to begin with. So it's like those are a little bit weird things and stuff. And also, this is an interesting fact. I'm not sure if I remember the name of that user map correctly, but I think it was Slums of New York or Sewers of New York or something. It was, but that particular user map has really plenty of resemblance to Duke Royale. So if you're gonna find that map, go check out that user map, just for curiosity's sake. But I think that for most of the part, the difficulty here kind of like relies on mostly like assault journals, because assault journals are really difficult to deal with because they take a lot of ammo, and not to mention that we got the usual enforcer comedy here, so it's the usual enforcer spawn fest and stuff like that. It's the usual in this episode, and that's also, like, from a reviewing standpoint, I think that's something that probably a lot of people are not gonna be very fond of, like fighting these enforcers all the time. And of course, like, they have been probably placed to deal as much damage to the player as possible, but I just don't understand the logic behind it, because to be honest, and for some reason, I don't know is it true or not, but on PlayStation, the enforcers, they seem to be a little bit more accurate, and they seem to be dealing a little bit more damage than they do on PC. So, I don't know. Is it true or not? I don't know. But about the references in this map, I'm not really like 100% sure on those references, because I've seen like Pulp Fiction, like it's been literally ages ago, so I don't really remember an awful lot about that movie. And even it is a pretty iconic movie, and I probably should know about those things and those references, but unfortunately that's something that I've missed. But the difficulty also, it kind of like goes a little bit up from the early part, because you got low ammo setting early on, and not to mention that we got these enforcers, and also there are some of those wandering pickups around the street. Those can be dangerous, just as you saw. I almost got killed by one of them, but I would say the majority of the difficulties generated by this enforcer factor, which means that every map has to have 776 enforcers. And also not to mention those commanders in the end, they weren't necessarily that difficult to deal with. But there are plenty of them, and since they don't make any sound, that can be a little bit dangerous too. And stuff like that. And also the best thing about this version of, or the TC version of Duke Royale, is the fact that we no longer have to suffer from poor FPS, which the original Duke Royale was very famous for. But seriously, I've been talking like ages again. So I think that's enough about Royale, and we're gonna move on to level number 5 of Plug and Pray, which would be Alien Rendezvous. Do you remember Occupied Territory from Lunar Apocalypse? In case you do, think about the worst version of that. But with that, I think we're all done. So with Royale episode 4, level 4. So next time we will take on episode 4, level 5, Alien Rendezvous. So yeah, thanks for watching and see you around.